Hello there, you're watching World News from Indonesia's Pioneer News channel, Metro TV. I'm Edwin Tintin, and here are the main stories for today. Since the war against the Islamic State militant group erupted in 2014, more than 1 million displaced Iraqis have flooded into Kurdistan. The majority are living packed in cheap hotels, with entire families sharing one small bathroom. Still others are in temporary camps. A business initiative to accommodate professional and business people to access fresh and locally produced fruits and vegetables. One farmer in the U.S. now has expanded the program to New York City lawyers. We begin from Indonesia, where Indonesian officials said on Tuesday that victims' body of the Trigona plane crash would be flown from the region by helicopter due to its remoteness. The plane slammed into the mountain, killing everyone on board the plane. Smoldering wreckage of the Trigona Air Service turboprop plane was spotted from the air on Monday. The twin turboprop plane was flying from Jayapura to the city of Oxbow when it lost contact. The plane was carrying 49 passengers and 5 crew members on a scheduled 42-minute flight. Rescuers only reached the crash site on Tuesday after being hindered by rock-forested terrain and bad weather. But first, a power plant operator in southern Japan restarted a nuclear reactor on Tuesday. This is the first power plant to begin operating under new safety requirements following the Fukushima disaster. The restarting process went as planned and without any problems. The restart marks Japan's return to nuclear energy after the 2011 meltdowns at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant triggered by an earthquake and tsunami. Meanwhile, dozens of anti-nuclear activists held a protest outside the Sendai plant. The former Japanese Prime Minister Naoto Kan addressed the crowd. He was in the office at the time of the Fukushima disaster and has become an outspoken critic of nuclear power. Now let's take a look at what the weather will be like across the world today. Jakarta will be sunny, Singapore and London rainy, while Tokyo and Beijing will see a dry but cloudy day. Life in the Syrian city of Hasake, divided between allied Kurdish and regime forces, comes at a price. There are 2 lots of military service and residents pay double taxes. As the Republican Party readies for Thursday's first debate between its crowded field of presidential hopefuls, one has stood out from the crowd, Donald Trump. He is easily recognizable for the usual and lately controversial reasons. The United States and Cuba have moved to end more than 5 decades of hostility and mistrust by restoring diplomatic relations. VOA State Department correspondent Pam Duckin reports. Now let's take a look at what the weather will be like across the world today. Jakarta, Singapore and London will have a dry but cloudy day. Tokyo rainy while Beijing will be sunny. Coming up next, the world's leading experts in artificial intelligence gather in Argentina to discuss the future of autonomous robots. And people in east coast of Madagascar celebrates the comeback of the humpback whales. You're back on World News. Japan's trade deficit narrowed 92% last month as exports of automobiles pick up, while a tremendously high energy import bill continues to fall. Finance Minister data showed on Thursday the country's trade deficit came in $556 million, plunging 92% from a $6.73 billion deficit a year ago. In June, the value of imports jumped 9.5%, while imports were down 2.9%. The data showed Japan's exports to the key North American market were up 16.9% over the first half of the year. 5.1% to European Union countries, while exports to China rose a less robust 2.2% since January. Meanwhile, Asia-Pacific rim markets were mixed on Thursday, with Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai on the green, Sydney down, while Seoul was flat. In Southeast Asia, markets were weak, with Jakarta and Singapore losing slightly. South Asia's beacon market Mumbai lost almost 0.5% at the closing. Japan's trade deficit fell a less than expected 72.3% year-on-year in July due to falling energy costs and a pickup in exports. The deficit fell to $2.15 billion against $7.7 billion a year earlier. Japan's exports to the key North American market were up 18.8% in July, the 11th consecutive monthly increase. Nonetheless, the overall Japan's exports slowed in July as demand falls in China. China-bound shipments were off 1.3% from the same period last year in volume terms. In his visit to Indonesia, British Prime Minister David Cameron not only focused on international issues, but also bilateral business. He said the UK will support and assist Indonesia in becoming the 10th largest economy by 2030. I filed this report.
The need for international support.
Accompanied by a trade delegation of 31 business leaders, British Prime Minister David Cameron chose Indonesia as the first country he visits outside Europe since being re-elected last May. During a business forum in Jakarta, Cameron emphasized that the cooperation between the two countries should be further developed, including in infrastructure development. In addition, Britain will invest $1.55 billion to finance infrastructure projects in Indonesia through its Export Guarantee Scheme. This funding is believed to pave the way for the growth of exports worth $311 million to the UK.
I brought with me today architects, planners, consultants, engineers, builders, and of course in JCB, the people who can provide the equipment. So we offer that end-to-end planning, we offer that design expertise, we offer the expertise in public-private partnerships. All of this, I would stress, with a safety record that is amongst the best in the world in construction.
Indonesian Vice President Yusuf Kala responded positively and hoped that the investment could be diversified. Kala added the cooperation would benefit both countries.
I hope that the involvement of British investor in Indonesia infrastructure development will not only significantly increase trade and investment between our two countries, but also strengthening our overall strategic partnership.
The United Kingdom is one of the largest investors in Indonesia. In the first quarter of 2015, UK has materialized investment worth $424 million in this Southeast Asian country. All portable electronic communication devices require regular access to an energy source, which can be a problem for soldiers in the field. The U.S. Army is testing a new device that harvests energy from even the slightest breeze. VOA's George Putic has the details. The concept of individual flight is quickly becoming a reality as two technology firms have built a drone called the Hoverbike. Malloy Aeronautics, a U.S. and British-based firm, believe that the device could revolutionize the concept of flying. A full-size model is already being built in Britain, but only a smaller model is currently being tested. The Hoverbike was first developed by New Zealand inventor Chris Malloy. The technology firms are selling a battery-powered scaled model for $1,600. It can fly up to 96 kilometers to 240 kilometers per hour. Coming up next, we go to London, the United Kingdom, to see the largest cinema ever built from Lego bricks. And an upcoming action comedy film, Goosebumps.
Nobody make us.
You're still watching World News. Children in South Africa's townships dream of breaking race barrier into the national rugby team despite the challenges posed by poverty. In South Africa, rugby is still linked to wealth, but as the sports academy in Khayelitsha, a new initiative is trying to introduce the sport to a new audience. Some of these young players dream of one day getting their Springbok colors. The government has also set a target that by 2019, half of the Springbok team should be players of color. For the last 126 years, the people of Gimli, a small Icelandic village in the middle of Canada, have been celebrating the culture of its ancestors by reviving the Vikings during the Icelandic festival. This year, the blacksmiths, tailors, weavers, and other reenactors share their knowledge with visitors about the Viking cultures. Reenactors present the daily life of the Vikings of centuries past, including demonstrating their warfare tactics on a veld adjacent to the encampment. The small town, located 75 kilometers north of Winnipeg, is home to the largest concentration of Icelandic ancestry outside of Iceland. During 4 days every year in August, it hosts the Viking Festival, which attracts up to 70,000 visitors. In Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, children are defending on a circus training school for a better future. Al Jazeera's Charles Stratford tells us more. An etiquette school in St. Petersburg, Russia is teaching 21st century women and youngsters how to behave like European aristocracy. Schools of etiquette have long been popular in Russia, but the Austrian Higher School of Ladies claims to be the first to offer courses modeled on European aristocracy. Courses include table manners, horseback riding, and ballroom dancing. Students are accepted from the age of 3. Courses are 11 months long and cost $180 a month for children and $420 a month for adults. In our top entertainment news, Ed Sheeran leads Spotify's top young artist list. Julian Huff is engaged to hockey player Brooks Lage, and we go back in time with the Beatles' All You Need Is Love. Don't forget to tweet your requests and ideas to @WorldNewsMetro by using the hashtag WNThrowback. I'm Edwin Tintin. Thank you so much for watching, and we wish you a pleasant night.
British singer Ed Sheeran topped Spotify's list of the top 25 most influential artists under the age of 25 as the company's most streamed artist of 2014. The 24-year-old Sheeran also has Spotify's most streamed song ever, with Thinking Out Loud streamed 450 million times. Two-time Dancing with the Stars champion Julianne Hough and Washington Capitals forward Brooks Lage say they are planning to get married. Lage and Hough each tweeted a link to a photo of the couple with the same message Tuesday announcing their engagement. On this date 48 years ago, the Beatles scored their 14th U.S. #1 single with All You Need Is Love. The song was ranked as number 362 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. We leave you now with the song sung by Paul McCartney, Eric Clapton, Rod Stewart, and Joe Cocker in London, UK in 2002.
Nothing you can know that isn't known. There's nothing you can see that isn't shown.